Space Marine 2, the Lieutenant Titus mission pack, for those of you who don't know, is an expansion available on Warhammer community to download for free. I'd like to share some of my thoughts on this mission pack. I've played it quite a few times, so who's it for, what changes I'd make, and ideas for moving forwards, expanding it. Let's start with who the game's for. The mission pack itself is a self-contained game. It's got everything you need to know in here, how to set up different actions, how to shoot and fight. You don't really need any prior experience of Kill Team or 40k to play. However, you will need some miniatures to play with. You need at least 3 Marines, ideally with the right loadouts. You also need quite a few Tyranids of different styles to be able to represent the different operatives in this game. If you've been collecting Combat Patrol magazine or have some miniatures from 40k armies, then you'll be fine. If you're starting out as a complete beginner, you will need a box of some kind of Space Marines to make the three heroes of this battle. You will also need at least 6, but so that equals a box really, of some kind of melee Tyranids. So it talks about Hormagaunts, but these are Gene Stealers. You'll need at least 6 of a gun bug. So in this case, the Termagants, but whatever. You'll also need at least 1 Tyranid warrior, but possibly more depending on how the game goes. And then, of course, some kind of Lictor model or von Ryan's Leapers. And then that will be enough for you to play. Not to mention, of course, some terrain to play on. Now, that's quite an investment for a game with only 1 mission. If, as a 40k player, you have most of these miniatures, then it's a great way of dipping your toe into Kill Team. If, however, you only have a love for the Space Marine 2 game, then it's probably not a game for you. It's going to be an expensive one to start. If you already play Kill Team, then you've got a bit of a head start on this game. It's very similar. There are slightly different rules though, and I found it a little bit confusing to begin with. It's a bit weird, and some of the actions are slightly different, and some of the ways the particularly the Marines behave is slightly different. Like, they only have 2 APL. One of the other strange things is the revive action. So select any incapacitated operative and regain it 6 wounds. Bring it back to life with 6 wounds. You need to run over and revive. And then once per game, Titus himself can give everyone within 6 inches a D3 plus 3 lost wounds. So all these things make it more of a game for 40k players who want to get into Kill Team, than a game for kill team players themselves. It's actually a lot more like a standalone game, similar to the Dark Tide board game. Having said that, all of that it is fun, yeah. But it needs expanding past the one mission in the rules, which I think could get boring very quickly, and it kind of has for me. One very simple way of changing the game up would be to play the objectives backwards. So starting here and going to 3, 2, and then 1, and that will change the way, definitely change things up. The other way you could do is randomize which objectives become active next, or build a whole new map using one out of one of the books or the operations pack. Another simple way of changing the way the mission plays is to use different terrain, and the most different way of playing that would be using the Gallo Dark Walls to make a map that works for the mission, or maybe some kind of other deaf world. The choice is yours. So here I would play through to objective 1 and then work my way through to objective 2, work round to objective 3 and back to the start point. I am, however, going to change the system slightly when I play again. I want to play Kill Team and not an adapted version of Kill Team, and so I'm going to keep the MPO stats for the Tyranids so that they can carry on playing, maybe even the activation sequence, or at least give some of the bugs a GA2, and that will spice things up a bit. The biggest thing that I think I'd change is playing a full kill team instead of a 3-man team, and take the revive rules out of it so that they no longer count, and then that way I can use 3 activation points and any extra commands and other actions that come with the big team. So using the Space Marine 2 ideas to play different objectives in different games makes for more variety, and playing full rules for the full kill team game experience means you don't need to remember the specific rules for this little game. Again, e.g. the revive rule. Does this mean that I'm still playing the Space Marine 2 game, or am I playing a homebrew hybrid of Kill Team Solo? I don't really know, but I'm playing a game that I'm enjoying, and I guess that's all that really counts.